Good evening, students. We are doing this new national education policy we are talking about. So where if the student is comfortable in their regional language or the mother tongue, so they should be allowed to take up, to continue in their mother tongue or the local language which is there. The main issue over here is, see here it's given that senior official said that education was a concurrent subject. What is this concurrent? Can anybody give this? What is this list 3? Any idea? What are these lists? See, there are 3 lists, that is state, center, and concurrent. That means central government takes care of, a few things like defense. It is in the central government only takes care of that, right? Yeah. Then comes the state list, local roads, transport, all that the state will take care. Then the concurrent list is where both union government and central government and state governments should come together and do it. That comes under the concurrent list. So education is in the concurrent subject, means it is in the concurrent list. That means both state governments and central government should together take it up and should see that there are a lot of changes in that. So I have told you about this, right? This foundational literacy and numeracy, making sure that they are able to read and write, at least by class 3. This is a major drawback in Indian education system. We have been, maybe I think so, after, I should say that after the Britishers came here, people started taking English as a medium of instruction, and we have got into this, we forgot about our Gurukula system of education, and we got into this convent type of education where rote learning, unnecessary things which are not needed for him. See, all his education after he moves up for employment will be of, suppose people will be doing engineering, they will be doing civil engineering, mechanical engineering. Finally, when the campus interviews are there, they go for the software engineer jobs. So what they studied in civil engineering, what they studied in mechanical engineering, somebody is an electrical engineering, somebody is an electronics and communication engineer. All these people are again going to software. There the companies are teaching them some Python or some coding or some languages they are teaching. So all that they have learned in this 4 years of engineering is a waste, right? So what is the use of such learning? The child must have completed 10th standard or 12th standard, but they are not able to see, they have to write a letter to the, or send a mail to the higher authority. They are not able to do it. 10 sentences about himself, to introduce himself or herself, they are not able to do it. So what is this new education policy trying to take care of? Basic things are there. 3rd standard itself, suppose a child drops out, are they can we ensure that those basic reading and writing, it can be its mother tongue itself, the child's mother tongue itself, no problem, but are they able to read and write? Are they able to do the minimum minimum numeracy skills? Do they have calculations? Suppose he starts up his own small tea shop, is he able to do the minimum calculations and take care of himself or not? So these are the things, that's the national mission has been, if it is called FLN, Foundational Literacy and Numeracy. So a great work is going on, and research is going on in this particular thing. So where they are including all the levels of students from the villages, from tribal areas even, to make sure that everybody is integrated into this Indian stream of education. Correct? So, and another challenge is digital education. So only the students who are in the cities are whose parents are able to afford mobile phones, only are those children being given this digital education. So government schools are also trying to give an electronic tab to the children, trying to provide computers in the school, in the government schools, and they are taking it up as CSR activities also. Big companies, like Wipro, these companies are also, as their social responsibility, CSR activities, they are helping out the government schools in training up the teachers, training up the students, providing infrastructure to that school. So they are adopting the local government schools and trying to improve their employees also. The employees of the company are also moving on Fridays. They are going to the these schools and trying to do their best. So this is, so the best, see, sir has given all the points, all the important points which are there in the national education policy. Everything he has given. Inclusion, that means education should be integrated with the technology, and that access should be given to all the schools and colleges which are there. So if the child wants to drop out, if the student wants to drop out in these 4 years, anywhere after 1 year, after the first year, he moves out, it's called as, sometimes the parents are not able to afford his 4 years of education. Then the student can drop out, and it's called as certificate course in that particular. Suppose if it is civil engineering, certificate of civil engineering. If he completes 2 years, it's called as diploma in civil engineering. And if he is able to complete all 4 years, then it is going to be graduation in civil engineering. So there's need that more of budget should be allocated for education. More seriously it has to be taken up, and at the same time our way of learning also should change. So how will the way of learning change? Only when the teachers are trained. The B.Ed colleges are like, no, they are trying to modify their content, modify their curriculum, in which the teachers are trained up enough. So CBSE and NCERT have started up with rigorous training for the teachers, making them understand why it is very, very important to stop the rote learning. You give a, nowadays, especially abroad, or I think so, some of the top colleges in in India, where a particular topic is given, a small pre-lecture, before going to the class, some small video will be given. You go through it, you try to understand it, and then go to the class and ask your teacher. Teacher also will give a immediate test in that particular topic, will ask the student to do a project work on that project work, which is useful for them, which has a connect to the real life, which has a connect to the real life. Like that, it has to be given. So across in I should say, where there is international curriculum or Australian curriculum or US curriculum, this is all like it's all going on like that. So very, very soon India also will take up all that. It's very difficult, it's not very easy, because we are such a vast country with various diverse levels of students who are there, are coming from different backgrounds, not only financial backgrounds, cultural, social backgrounds also, where many of the parents feel that girls education is has to be taken up very, very seriously, because still there are places where the girls are not sent to school, only the boys are sent to school. So all this has to change, and this is something which is very, very important, like how you have special economic zones, you call them SEZs. So to improve the, how do you improve the employment in the country? You try to create a pharma hub. All pharma companies from all over the world, like suppose Visakhapatnam has a pharma hub. Hyderabad has one pharma hub. So there all the top companies like Pfizer, yeah, all these companies come and they start their production of medicines, yeah, over there. So you provide, yeah, place for them, you provide, yeah, you give them the, yeah, some kind of allowances to start put in their infrastructure, yeah, to construct their, yeah, factories. So that is called as special economic zones, and there sometimes software companies, sometimes, yeah, pharma companies, or it can be, yeah, any other manufacturing companies also, small units of manufacturing units also will be coming up. But this is something different. This is also a SEZ, but it is special educational zones where the caste, yeah, caste or social barriers are there. Especially I told you about the girl child's education. If you educate one girl in the house, you are going to educate the family, because that girl grows up, becomes a mother, and teaches at least her own children. So it's, you're teaching the girl child, you are giving education to the girl child. You should always remember that you are giving education to the whole family. Yeah, next one. Next is a, yeah, it is appropriate, I should say, what we were talking about, gender inclusion fund. Gender inclusion fund. This is about what I was talking about, education to girls. Yeah, and also transgender students also now, male, female, or transgender. Transgenders are also trying to be included into the society, so that their children also can have access and proper sanitation, proper, at least, yeah, proper places to live in. Okay, so this is, according to this, most of the companies should try to give employment to girls or women. Girls, I should say, above 18, they're called women. Young ladies, they should give appointment to. So they should try to see that in their particular company or organization, at least 33% of them are women, or in a few cases it is 50% also. They're trying to make it into 50% also. And also, see, there is always this gender inclusion also, like they pay less to the women and more to men. So that also they are trying to maintain equality, trying to give them maternity benefits. Major companies like Infosys, yeah, Tata, these companies give maternity benefits also to the mothers. They give what do you call, daycare centers also in their offices, so that ladies, when they want to take care of their children, like now by the time they go to school, like 3 years or 4 years of age, up until then they should be taken care well in the office itself. So every office has one small yeah, daycare center also, where the mothers will leave them over there and go to their work, and evening when they're coming back they pick them up. So these are all the things which are very, very important to be taken care of. Now our fifth question is about tiger status report. Wildlife, WWF, we have spoken about that in the first question. So what is happening to the tiger population? Can anyone tell? Save tiger, there are a lot of yeah, initiatives like that. Why should we do that? Hello? It should be an interactive session.
Increasing in population of tigers.
Yeah. Why is it coming down, first of all? What are the reasons, do you think?
Poaching.
Yeah?
Poaching.
Yes, poaching, correct, correct. Yeah. And all the forest areas are being cut down, and we are trying to, yeah, develop our cities. We are getting into the forests, correct? And making our own complexes, buildings, apartments. So we are fast, very fast, we are yeah, occupying their places. So the forests have become, yeah, first of all, the area of the forest has come down, and in that, people are trying to kill them for the either for the meat or for the skin. Yeah, all these animals, like elephant is for the tusks. So like that, the tigers are also very, very fast. Their numbers are depleting because they're not given sufficient. They are not provided with sufficient environment, sufficient space where they can live on their own. So how this human animal conflict is happening, how, like, no, how can we stop, how can the forest departments work more on it? Yes. So, and how can we bring back that tiger population? So they have identified areas where tigers are more in number. So these wildlife sanctuaries have been started, and tiger reserves also. Please remember these names: Annamalai Tiger Reserve, Mudimalai Tiger Reserve, Satyamangalam Tiger Reserve, Kalakkad Tiger Reserve. Right? These wildlife sanctuaries are trying their best, tiger reserves are trying their best to make sure that this particular tigers population is restored. So in a zoo, what happens? You are trying to, what is the difference between a zoo and a sanctuary? You are providing the habitat for them to live on their own. In a zoo, you are putting them in the, in a particular small area. Usually they do not like to stay over there. It is like you are caught up in a house for many years, 15, 20 years, you are only not allowed to move out. How will you feel? You are confined to your own room. How will you feel? That's how the lion or the tiger feels when you are putting them in zoo. Instead of that, identifying the areas where they are tigers and lions are more, and trying to make sure that those areas are not the people are not entering over there and trying to kill those animals. Better water facilities, safety issues should be taken care of. Tourism can be there, but it should not affect the wildlife. It should be taken care in such a way. The sixth question, environment impact assessment 2020. So this has been, we have discussed in detail about the ozone layer depletion, about the about global warming. There are, all the countries in the world are coming up together to make sure that they make Earth a better place to live. So in this environment impact assessment, this has come up recently in news. Why? Because this should become, this draft notification which has been made should become a law. And then there's one more point here, environment. When we are talking about environment, we know there are deserts all over the world. Can you name few deserts? Deserts which are there all over the world. In India,
Sahara.
Sahara Desert. India,
Thar
Desert. So how do you identify? How does this desert, how does it form? Or how come that a particular place becomes a desert? Any idea? Like people say that Anantapur is very fast. If we don't take care of it, it will become a desert. Why? How can people, environmentalists, how are they? They are again and again saying that take care of that area, otherwise it will become a desert. Very soon it will become a desert. How are they telling us that it will become a desert? How can you identify that Anantapur is becoming a desert? And also these deserts will be expanding. Why? Because there won't be any rainfall over there. When you have lots of trees, these clouds which we have, when they enter that area, they get cooled and they rain. the clouds become rain, and that is how rainfall happens. But over a desert, these clouds will not, they will not get that condensation, and they will not become rain. So what happens when there is no rain for a long time? There is very scarce rainfall in the throughout the year. What happens? There won't be any water over there. Once there is no water, the groundwater level is also not there. So more and more trees will die. When trees, there is no vegetation possible over there, what happens? That soil becomes not fit for any kind of vegetation. So in Anantapur, how do they identify? Means more and more thorny bushes will come. Thorny bushes, all these deserts, what are the kinds of plants which will be there in the deserts? What is the speciality of those? Cactus. What do they have? They have thorns all over. There will be bulge type things will be there with the thorns, because the goats or the animals which are there should not eat them, and they should be able to contain water inside. Little bit of water which is there, because there won't be any rain during those in those areas. So what do the plants? Cactus kind of plants, where they store, their leaves will be thick and they store water inside. So for their survival, such kinds of plants, if they are growing in your areas, that's an indication that that area is going to fast become a desert. So environmentalists have found out that there are fast such kind of plants which are observed more and more in those areas, and people say that it's going to become a desert. So area in a state might end up becoming a desert as a notification has given exemption. See, there are a lot of projects, oil and gas, shale gas, coal mining, all these things will be happening up, right? So how this notification is being given, how this environment impact assessment is taken care, is given in this particular question. What is the time now? Yeah. We'll continue in the next class. Please go through them. All these questions are self-explanatory. You don't have any particular thing like you have a, like suppose this particular question which is there, it should be dealt in detail. More inputs are needed for this question. In the next class, I will, what is the 10th schedule of the Constitution and how you are going to learn more about it. In few questions you need, you have few technical terms which need to be explained, but others are all very easy. This is an idol theft. How it happened. This particular idol was found in England somewhere. So now we are trying to get it back from there, right? So few questions are like self-explanatory. It is very easy for you. You can go through it and you can understand. Where you need help, please make sure that you take our help. And daily the quiz questions which are there, see that you are answering and giving your presentations. Very soon you will get getting Dasara holidays also. Please make sure that I will be in this week. I will be talking to you individually, trying to understand how you are coping up with it, and how Yashwini, I will talk to you after your exams are over. Aditi, do you have any exams presently? Assignments, only assignments, or exams are also there? Hello?
Yes, ma'am. I do have exams next week. Internal assessments.
You have exams?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So when you're free, you let me know so that we can start with our discussions, right? So that this preparation should be serious. You have sufficient time, I should say that, for your preparation, but every day counts. Like PV Sindhu, every day before you go to sleep, you imagine if PV Sindhu stops for a day, if she stops preparing for a day, what happens thinking that Olympic Games is